All right, hello everyone. Welcome back once again. My name is Victor Digomo here. We are still solving questions from the past concluded WAEC examination mathematics. So, for the year 2025, we are still solving the questions there. We before now have been able to solve the questions in the section A, and then we are currently in section B. So, and in this section B, we are looking at question 11. We are still in question 11, and this question 11 has to do with matrix. It has to do with matrix, and we are given two matrices here, and then we are asked to calculate something here. Let's look at the question. It says, given that P is 2, it's a 2 by 2 matrix, 2 4 minus 9 1, and we have Q being 1 minus 1 3 minus 2. Say find PQ plus 2Q. All right, it's not going to take time. It's not going to take. It's a very simple question anyway. It's a very simple question. So let's look at this question. We have P to be 2 and 4. The entries are 2 4 minus 9 1. Okay, and we have Q to be 1 minus 1 3 minus 2. So the requirement here is just for us to find PQ plus 2Q. That is the product of this and this, then plus 2 times this. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to take the product of this and this. So our PQ is going to be, you have 2 4 minus 9 1. Okay, then you now have 1 minus 1 3 minus 2. Okay, so let's take the product and see what it's going to give us. We are still going to make out quality time to dwell on matrices, but how you take the multiplication, peradventure this is maybe you meeting this for the first time, is row times column. Okay, so we take 2 times 1, that's 2, then plus 4 times 3, that will give us 12. So you see that 2 plus 12 is going to give us here 14. Okay, we take this again, this row again, against this second column. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, and 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. So you take a look at it like minus 2 plus minus 8. That will give us minus 10. So here we have minus 10. Okay, so we have again minus, you see we are through with this first row, first column, first row, second column. We are not taking second row, first column, and second row, second column. Okay, so first row, first column, minus 1, minus 9 times 1 will give minus 9. 1 times 3 will give us 3. So if you add both of them, you are going to have minus 9 plus 3, which will give us minus 6 here. Minus 6. Okay, and then minus 9 times minus, okay, this will give us 9. 1 times minus 2 will give us minus 2. So you have 9 minus 2. That will give us 7 here. Okay, so this is our PQ, and then we come back again and look at 2Q, because what we are required is to find the product of this and this plus 2q. So 2q is going to be 2, a scalar multiplying this matrix 1 minus 1, 3 and minus 2. Of course, it's going to give us 2 here is a the scalar against each of the elements. Okay, so we have 2 here, we have minus 2, we have 6, we have minus 4. Okay, so finally we are now bringing in bq plus 2q. So this is going to give us 14 minus 10 minus 6 7. Okay, plus we now have 2 minus 2. So this is minus 2. 2 times minus 1 minus 2 minus 2, then 6 minus 4. So we add this and see it will give us element by element. This will give us 16. Okay, and what again? This and this will give us minus 12. This and this will give us 0, and this plus minus 4 is going to give us 3. Okay, so this is the result we will obtain in that question 11a. Okay, it doesn't take much, so it's a very simple thing to look at. Okay, it's a very simple thing to look at. All right, I am going to go straight to question 11b. And this question 11b, we're also going to look at it. Let me see whether I can take it here, but I would like to do what we will obviously see clearly. So the question 11b says a bag contains 8 red balls and some white balls, all of the same size. If the probability of drawing at random a white ball from the bag is half the probability of drawing a red ball, it says find the number of white balls in the bag. Find the number of white balls in the bag. Okay, so one can quickly say one can quickly say they gave us here red balls. R for red is 8. Okay, and some white balls, that's to say the number of white balls here are not known. So I can simply say W for white ball question mark. So I can use something like X. So the number of white balls, they are X. Okay, then they are of the same size. It says if the probability of drawing at random a white ball from the bag, but before then we will say the sample space. Of course, I have had a lot of classes in probability. Yes, we really did a lot of classes in probability, and I just believe you will visit those classes. They are very, very important. They are going to help you to know what we mean by sample space if you are meeting this for the first time, and what other terminologies we use in probability, what they mean. So sample space is will be this and this. That's 8 plus x. That will be the sample space. Obviously, if you follow this now, you realize that probability of red, P of red, R, will be 8. Number of red balls over the sample space, 8 plus X, and comma, and probability of white will be X over what? 8 plus X. But there is something that they gave us here. They say that if the probability of white is half the probability of drawing a red ball, the probability of white, this probability is half this. So it then means that if probability of white is equals to 1 over 2 probability of red, okay, you see this, the implication is that X over 8 plus X is equals to 1 over 2 into 8 over 8 plus X. Okay, of course this can take away this and you have 4 here, so we can have X over 8 plus X being equals to 4 over 8 plus X, because the only thing we can do here is to cross multiply this, and if we cross multiply, we are going to be having let me write it, X bracket 8 plus X equals to 4 bracket 8 plus X. Okay, so here we're going to have, let me take this one first, X squared plus 8X. No, it's still the same thing irrespective of the arrangement. Of course, X times 8 is 8X, X times X is X squared, plus equals to, this is 32 plus 4X. I can collect the like terms here, bring these things over here, and have X squared plus 8X minus 4X minus 32 equals to 0. Of course, we are very within the environment of quadratic equation. So this is going to give me X squared plus 4X. Okay, 8X minus 4X is going to give me 4X, then minus 32 equals to 0. So the simplest method to use here now is factorization. And in factorizing this expression, I will look for the product of this. I've done classes on that, and product of this and this, and then that will be 32x squared. But I am breaking it into two factors, of which they will give me this. So if you look at 8x and 4x, they will give you this. And then if you now say by difference, 8x minus 4x is going to give you 4x. So it will return you back here. So I'm going to now say x squared plus 8x minus 4x, which will return me back here, minus 32 is equals to 0. Okay, it's equals to 0. So obviously, if I factorize this, I will have x into x plus 8. Then within here, I will have minus 4 into x minus into plus will give me minus. So I'll put plus here, then I'll put 8 as well, equals to 0. So I am having outside the bracket x minus 4 equals to 0, or x plus 8 equals to 0. So you realize that what we'll be getting there is that x is equals to 4, or x is equals to minus 8. But because what we are being requested here says find the number of white balls in the bag, and the number of white balls in the bag, which we declared to be x, that count cannot be negative. Number of white balls in that bag cannot be negative, and because of that, we are not going to take the number of white balls to be negative. Okay, so we are going to take it to be positive number, to be a positive number. So the number of white balls in that bag is 4. Is 4. We can go ahead and verify and say if x is 4, then P of R is equals to 8 over because 8 plus 4 is going to give us 12. And that is going to give us 4 here, 2, 4 here, 3. And P of white is going to give us 4 over 8 plus 4, which is still 12. This is going to give us 1 over 3. If you look at it, you realize that probability of white, P of white, this concludes that matter. That P of white is equals to 1 over 2 P of red. I hope that is what we have there. Yes, half of this. So you realize that P of white here, this 1 over 3 is the same thing as 1 over 2 in brackets 2 over 3. Okay, so this cancel this, you return back to this. So I believe it's a very, very sweet it's a very, very sweet thing to look at. Okay, I believe so that you were able to appreciate this and then take it down. So lovely. And I believe that I once again I want to appreciate those of you who have been able to uh, subscribe to the channel. It's one thing for you to look at what we're doing and um, help us to recognize that what we are doing is actually making impact. Yes, there's no other way you could have said, wow, this class is useful to me. I benefited, I've learned one thing or the other in this class without punching that like button and without punching that subscription button. That's the only way we can say, oh, really, somebody today appreciated what we did. So please, I would like you to do that. While we proceed to the other classes, we still have question number 12 and question number 13 that concludes the theory part. We are going to do it right away. Please stay around with us as we go through these classes. Thank you so much for being there.